Well, welcome back. What have we got to say? Well, the last time I'd had a couple of drink, and I thought it was quite bad, but it wasn't that bad really. That last video that I put. I don't mean the one about the chicken wings either. Just on about. Anyway, here we go. What's been going on? Well, first of all, we went to Barrow football last Thursday, and a good time was had by all. Alas, we got beat 1-0, but we were in charge for most of the game. They brought fantastic support with them, and best of luck to them. That they were kept singing to us and taunting us and whatever. And I don't know why our lads didn't sing going down, because we might be there ourselves pretty shortly. So me and Sean Redette, we went from there downtown. And we had a good time downtown. We went to the Preston Street. Where we go after the Preston Street? Or the Cross Keys, to see Larry. And then we finished up at Ricky's bar, the Irish bar, which I recommend you to go to if you haven't been. It's really nice, We come outside. We'd had a few. It was the early hours of the morning by then. So we got a taxi home. So Sean lives at Newton. I thought, oh, here we go, No, Rog, I'll give something towards it, So anyway, we dropped Sean up at his house, and he said, I've given the driver 20. So I thought, well, that's fair enough, So we got home. I said, how much is that, mate? He said 45, and I said, oh, well, okay, if I give you 20, no, mate. He said, he only give me 20 pence. He said, tight, honest to God. And he gets away with it time after time. So Friday, that was an interesting day, really. I had to pick Sean up to go down to the cemetery. Because there was a funeral on there, Colin Lavery. Colin, everybody knows Colin. He had, he ran Maxims, first of all, for Peter Miller. Peter Miller, I've gone on about Peter before. He was led streets ahead of anybody else. And then he took over back down there. But meanwhile, Walter Floyd had got in there. Walter did a bastard's trick on him, really, He smashed the place up before he left. So he had to go in there, did Colin, and start from scratch. But he made it a success of it. Then he opened CP's over the road. And there was no singing at the funeral. There was no singing. It just records that he liked, which was good. And we walked in, big Liverpool fan, to You'll Never Walk Alone. So from there, we went down to, is it the Meeting Place, which Colin used to own years ago. And a good time was had by all. And we bumped into Peter McLaughlin. Anyway, Peter McLaughlin joined us in the, where did we go? In the Kings, we're in the Kings. And it was a good crack, was Pete, I tell you the truth. I mean, some of his stories are great, and he's a massive bloody Celtic fan. And they've taken him under the wing up there. He goes to the same place all the time, and he's a massive Celtic fan. And when he told a lot of stories. I mean, probably like me, he embellishes a little bit, but they were all good fun, And he was really smartly dressed. He had the smartest pair of Dr. Martens I've ever seen in my life. They were a black brogue with white stitching. They were lovely. Anyway, we said we'd catch up shortly. I mean, there's been a bit of bad feeling there for a bit, but I'm sure we're all over that sort of shit, So we had a good, and then we went over the road and ended up in the Albion, and Sean, of course, was first up to sing in there with the karaoke. He murdered a couple of records. And then I was walking home. I was going to go with Fergie. I was out with Fergie and his missus. And I was going to go home, but I didn't. I caught the bus because the bus was just there. And I went home. So that was till Friday. Saturday, went down to the Kings and had a few pints and then went over to the ferry on Walney, and that was good. It was really good. Just while we're on it, story about Peter McLaughlin. Years ago, there used to be a guy, and he walked around like that all the time. And he walked into the steelworks one Saturday, and Peter was in there. And he said, I'm sick of you with that bloody neck. Come here. Peter had had a drink. No, Peter, no. He said, nobody can straighten it. They've all tried. And he went, and he straightened it. A miracle. Oh, Pete, thanks a lot, mate. Cheers. It's an oldie but a goodie. Anyway, let's get back onto these car park, okay, that of mine. The town hall, I'm not going to bore you with going on. You can go down there and see on the planning yourself about the widening of the road, etc., etc. And it says on there who is the people around. I mean, don't forget, it goes right next to my place that they've contacted. Well, they haven't contacted me. Nobody's contacted me at all. And it's in the consultation. But if you go down there, they've already done all the work, but they're the town hall. They do what they like. So if you can be bothered to go on, the plans to look at are, if you go onto the plans, it's the third one in, for going from left to right, and then number 10. The third one in shows you the outline of where the planning is for, and it doesn't include the car park or the railway club. It doesn't include that. And they said they don't consult with me at all. I've had nothing from them whatsoever, and they know that. But look, it'll come out in the wash, I'm sure it will. And then it shows you the road again, the map, and how it joins on. And they've just gone ahead and done it. They're not going to get in touch with me. They can't be bothered. Yeah. So I've been bumping into people and they've been saying, Rog, you look miles better in the real life than you do on there. Can't you put a stocking over? A bloody walk, right? And so thanks for the well wishes. So I've got to tell you, hair is by Jackie, who works, she owns Adonis and earns that like a little cabin. Now, if you go on there, she's absolutely fantastic. And the difference is she speaks English. She asks these Turks to do things, and some of them don't speak English, and they muck it up, but she's good at when she's got a good rep. And the skin, of course, is by Harmony Rejuvenation, who are the best around. Got to tell you, I was in the old Friends a few weeks ago, and I saw this figure sat next to me with his little dog. And I thought, is that Bob Tooze? I thought, I don't really, is it? I'm not really sure. He wouldn't speak anyway. I'd speak to him, it wouldn't bother me. And I thought, I'm not really too sure. And then he stood up and walked away. I knew it was him now. I'm not saying he's bandy-legged or anything, but he couldn't stop a pig in an alley. So on to the House of Lords. What's going on there? Well, as you can see, nothing. I applied for a Freedom of Information and it never came. So after 2 years later, my friend applied for an FOI, and his best mate, who was a counsellor, said, if we don't get a response, I'm going to investigate this. Anyway, he got a response. It was a doctored response. There's no dates on it or anything. They're supposed to be sending the same to me, and they probably will, but I'll go back and I want dates, I want times, I want places. And I did try and say about this the other day. What happened with us was me and my wife went into the town hall for a meeting which we thought was going to be about the grants. And when we got there, the councillor there said, if you don't do all these, they give us a scope of works, if you don't do all these scope of works, we're going to take you to court. And my wife said, what, you mean criminal court? He said, yes. She said, on what charge? He said, I don't know off the top of my head. Well, there's nothing, if you ever see him, there's nothing else on his head. So what the hell? It's not like the old Greek god with this, So anyway, he did say that we had £150,000, however, of grant money that he's going to set aside. So basically, we've done the work. But when I met with him before that, I'd said to him, look, I don't really want to put any money towards this. Can you try and find a buyer for the site? And he did, and I got a letter off him that explained there was nobody there. But I always thought, well, why not just work together? But that wasn't to be the case. I did all the work and I'm still waiting for the money. And the reason he says is because I said I didn't want to put any money there. Well, if you have a look at the Cons Club across the road, the roof on there, it's 270,000. plus other things as well. You know, they've got architects in and stuff, and there's probably about another 30,000 on there. So what actually happens there? They've paid out 270,000. So the other guy is supposed to have put in 20. And it's called fudging this. So what they do is, oh, don't put in anything. You just pay that, we'll pay this. But no, mate, this is the modern day. He's supposed to pay 20%, which is 54 grand or whatever it is. So that roof across the road that I could put on, me and Sean could put it on for £80,000 and there's £40,000 worth of profit in it. Never got asked for any money. Why not? You know, that's the exact reason that he wouldn't give the grant to me in the first place, was because I said I don't really want to put any money in there. But I did put money in there and I did the work, so I want the money. But what is absolutely disgusting, it says at the end of that, now don't forget, the only thing this guy was brought in for was to spend this money. Right, so it's 1.75 million. Now on there it says 1.65 million, but there was 230,000 pounds, and I think there was 330,000 pounds left over. So they sent it back to the government. What chance in hell do you think there is of anything happening down at that House of Lords site? They're probably doing something behind the scenes. I don't really know what's going on. To have a go at me again. What was stuff in there was works around the House of Lords to take me to court. It actually says in there, pending prosecution. You can't write this thing. But the thing is, everybody knows, the whole town know I'm owed £150,000, but they sent back to the government £230,000 and never paid me a penny. Don't you think they could have got rid of that other money somehow? I think so. Well, you know, dishonest. So I keep getting asked about Michelle Scroggin. Well, she hasn't come back. I don't know why, really. I've included her in emails and things like that, and maybe she believes then that I am some sort of a nutcase, but I'm living in hope. And, you know, I've still, you know, my passion is this road across the bay and to bypass Ulverston, you know. And it's easily done at not a lot of cost. And it'll be all private money as well. You won't have to take anything out of public funds. You can make one work with the other. A lot of turnover that. I worked it out that there is 22,000 vehicles, at lorries and cars. Okay, say it's a £5 each way for a car. It's 11 miles across there instead of 29 miles right the way around the top. I'll put the map up behind me for the next programme, I suppose. And that's sort of dear to my heart. There's a few things I'd like to speak to her about. Look, at the end of the day, I'm back here from Australia. Australia was too hot for too long for me. It was. Benji's been on this morning. She's gone on The Voice. Good luck, Benji. Yeah, I don't like these to go too long. I don't like to shove loads of stuff down your throat. So I'll leave it at that. So, as usual, what do you think, by the way? Because Praddy, the other day, he was really complimentary. I saw him outside Tesco's. And, all right, Rog, we watch your programme. I said, put something on. Everybody, if you want to subscribe, it doesn't cost you anything. It just means that you'll get alerts. But he said, yeah, I said, well, put something on there. Oh, I might next time. He said, but you look a lot better in real life than you do on the camera. Which I took as a compliment, you know. I think, I can't remember, Kevin, I think it is. But there was a few brothers and a gorgeous sister. I actually saw the sister at a funeral, Mel's funeral. Oh, how long ago was that? A month ago or something like that. And she still looks great now, so she still looks great, you know. I heard she's working at the fish and chip shop on Walney. I might nip over and get some fish and chips. Right, so I've got to go, because if I don't go, I can't come back. And as usual, the pleasure's been all mine. Bye.